Bring us back. This is something that it's going to be one of your exercises, okay? So I'll give you that. How was that? How was that exercise of doing that? Was it hard? Was it easy? Easy? Anyone hard? Because sometimes this is a hard thing to do. It's okay because it can be a hard thing to do. Can you imagine, if you're training for a marathon, the first time you go out to run, are you going to run 26 miles? No, because it's a hard thing to do. So if it's something we've never done before, very intentionally, it can be a hard thing to do. I'm going to give you 3 tools, 3 exercises. These, I tell you, are as easy to do or as hard to do as you choose. As easy or as hard as you choose. And the first one is a gratitude journal. It's just each day, every day, I want you to go and write down 3 things that you're grateful for. Just 3. You can write it down on a piece of paper. You can, if you have a calendar, you can write it on the date of today's date in the calendar. You can actually have a book and have it in there. And if you didn't realize it, the exercise that you just did, you started your gratitude journal. And just make it a habit each and every day to do this. The second exercise is one that I do at the end of every day. I take 5 minutes and I replay my entire day. And I notice what's happened in my day, the interactions I've had, the things that I'm grateful for, and then the times that I might have been resentful or I didn't allow something to happen. I don't beat myself up over it, but it's just a time when I can notice it, and maybe the next time that comes around, Steve's going to behave a little differently. I mean, this is a time where you can bask in your own life and just kind of watch it. It's like you're watching your own life on a TV screen. And sometimes I fall asleep when I'm doing this. That's okay. And, so some days I start in the morning and I work my way through to the end of the day. Other days, wild and crazy, guess what I do? I start at the end of the day and I work my way backwards to the front. That's how I get through monotony. Very simple to do. And the third thing is this ring. Okay? I'll explain to you the ring. When I wear this ring on my left hand, I use it to remind me of one thing for which I'm grateful. Just one. And the thing that it reminds me of is whatever triggered me to take it off in the first place. So if in the midst of my day, I experience something that I'm grateful for, and I want to nurture this sense of gratitude that I experience, I take the ring off and I put it on my other finger. And then over the next 2 or 3 hours, every time I notice this ring, I think of the thing that caused me to take it off. Okay? Now, look at your gratitude list. Look at your gratitude list. If you haven't written anything down, you've got it written in your head. Pick one thing from that gratitude list. One thing. Now, your ring or your watch or your belt, whatever it is, that is what you're going to think of whenever you notice that over these next couple hours. What are you talking about, Steve? Next couple hours. Well, you can't leave that ring there all the time, because otherwise you're not going to notice it anymore. So to get it back, here's what I do. I say thank you to somebody in some way. And that may be just saying thank you. It may be getting somebody a coffee. It may be giving somebody a hug or picking up the phone and calling somebody. Just doing something else for somebody else, motivated from gratitude. And then when it's on my other finger, guess what? I'm all ready to go again. And so are you. Questions on these tools? They're simple. Are they simple? Any questions? Okay. The last one, the ring, it involves more than just being grateful. right? It involves actually acting out and doing something. And when we do that, we make our community a better place. We make our workplace a better place. We make our families and our home lives better places. And the question that often gets posed is, well, whose job is it to do that? And I ask myself, if it's not me, then whose job is it? And Jerry Garcia from the Grateful Dead has I think, a neat way to capture it that adds a little humor. Somebody has got to do something, and it's incredibly pathetic that it has to be us. But if it is not me, who is it? And so it's an easy trap to fall in, to think that it's somebody else. And that's why I wrote myth number 2. And I just released my book this week on Wednesday. You're the second audience that I've got to speak to since I've released it. It took me a long time to write this book. And it's not because it's a long book. It's because it's a short book. And I wanted to be as concise and make it as short as possible. And it took me a long time. But I hope that you can use this book so that you can squash out myth number 2. And to get the book, on the back of that card, you just turn it over, and it's a bookmark. That's a bookmark. And it's not the traditional bookmark that you put in a book to save your place so you know where you are. It marks the place on the internet where you can go get that book. Okay? And so you can get it from my website. And there's a link to it. And on my website, I use it to promote and tell people about what I do, and so they know how they can hire me. But I also do it to expose those 2 myths that we talked about today. And so for you, I invite you to go and get a free download of the book. All you have to do is register on my website to do that. And if it's helped you in your life, I just ask that you don't forward a copy of the book, forward a copy of the link. I'm trying to keep track of how many downloads of the book actually happen, okay? So, I know every single person in this room wants 2010 to be their best year yet. I know every one of us. And my wish is that it is for you. And what my hope is that you will make gratitude one of the pillars upon which you make 2010 your best year ever. And I know it's already underway, but one of the next steps that you're going to do in making 2010 your best year is you're going to say thank you to somebody for one thing on your gratitude list.